Center here, and this is an area called Haleʻipohaku up here where the researchers stay. And we got this Hawaiian structure to our left, kind of in a sense put here in reaction to all the Western influence here on the mountain, but you can tell how short of breath I am just walking up this slight grade, 9,000 feet, so it just gets worse as we go higher, so you really have to pay attention to how you're breathing. But the building there, like I said, the Hale is a bit of in reaction to what's going on here, but at the same time it's not out of context. I mentioned that the Hawaiians are coming up to 13,000 feet to get stones, and in this vicinity here there are all kinds of archaeological sites where this was their base station as well. So they had figured out this is as low as they needed to go to sleep, which is just kind of cool. 500 years ago, 600 years ago, the Hawaiians were encamped in this area at times, mainly in the summer. Just like the modern humans have figured out that this is where we need to do our sleeping. So it's kind of an interesting mix between ancient and modern right here at this area of Haleʻipohaku. Hale is house, Pohaku means stone. And you'll see a couple stone buildings hidden in the brush right here on the right. That we're here in the late 30s for the earliest Western influence on the summit, where people were working at the top there, a lot of USGS people. So that was the very first facility. It was also for the very first telescope that was installed in 1969. And it's morphed into this large condo here on the right with all the solar panels. And they can handle 60 researchers, 60 astronomers come down from the mountain at a time, sleep there. And they have their, whether you work day or night, you don't sleep up there, you come down here. There's also a bit of a ranger station and all the road equipment, because we're going to be on dirt roads here. By the way, there's a trail that goes up the mountain on the left. It's the beginning of the modern Humu'ula trail that the Hawaiians were utilizing to go straight up the mountain. We're going to go on a much more gradual approach driving up here. But you can come up here on your own. You can drive up here on your own too if you want, but you can come up here and check in with the ranger station and then walk up the way the Hawaiians did if you wanted to. It takes all day. You can also cheat and go to the very top, or very close to the top, and park up there and go down the trail and check out some of the quarry sites from the top, which is also very cool. This dirt road from this elevation up to about 12,000 feet, and then it's paved from that 12,000 foot to the very top. The first astronomers here in the 70s paved the summit down to 12,000 feet to prevent dust from interfering with the visible on the optical telescopes, and then kept it dirt from that level down to 9,000 feet, mainly to restrict public access. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a sense of how far back that struggle has been happening with who gets to access the mountain and for what purpose and for how long, and even more importantly, who makes those decisions. Kind of going through this mist, this kind of ground effect mist that right now is being blown pretty strongly from the southwest because we got winter storm winds coming. But it's often here at some elevation, either down near Humu'ula. That's why I had our other guests back in. Sometimes on the way down, it gets so misty down there, you can barely see the road to turn in to find that car. And so this is, like I said, a ground effect mist that can happen anywhere from 6,000 feet almost up to the summit. And the Hawaiians considered this to be a kinolau. Kinolau is a multiple form, one of the multiple forms of one of the goddesses. Her name is Lulunoi. Lulunoi means mist. Who lives up at the summit. We'll see her cinder cone, her body, along with her other sisters, Waiau and Haukea and Poliahu. And her role is to come off the mountain and wrap her body in the form of mist around the summit at some point to prevent and confuse all the suitors that are constantly trying to come up there and bother her sisters. And with the way the weather's developing tonight, we'll probably have Illinois coming up very high tonight, maybe up to 13,000 feet. Everybody still doing okay?